Hello everybody, greetings and welcome to your mini class on yoga asanas for the crown chakra. Crown chakra is found at the upper part of the head, and this is where we really transcend into the upper realms and connect with our higher potential and our higher self. So I'm going to start off with some very simple poses you can incorporate into your practice, and then I'm going to do a couple of intermediate and then a few more challenging ones so everybody has something. And as always, you guys, just when you're doing any yoga asanas, you always want to listen to your body, you want to honor your body, and you also want to warm up your body before jumping into especially the more challenging ones. So any of the simple beginner can be done at any time. And as you move into the more advanced ones, you always want to make sure you're getting in the proper stretching and movement before you jump into those poses. Thank you for joining me. So one of the first most simple poses we can do for ourselves is get ourselves into easy seated pose, which we all know by now, right? Sit bones are going to be on the floor, legs are going to be easily crossed in front of you. Now the variations of this are going to be half lotus. So you might have one foot folded up onto the top of your thigh, or if it is in your practice and you have full lotus, you can go ahead and do that. This is a wonderful meditative posture for sort of connecting with all of the chakras. And anytime you practice easy seated pose, full lotus, half lotus, you always want to make sure you're rooted to the ground and you're connecting to the earth through your sit bones, rolling your shoulders back, slightly tucking your chin. So really elongating the spine, especially when you're working with this pose for the purposes of the crown chakra. And you really want to feel the current of energy coming up out of the crown chakra and rising towards the sky. Bringing your hands in at Anjali Mudra. Right here, the prayer pose is Anjali Mudra. And just really taking a few moments to connect with your breath as you sit in your seated meditative pose, visualizing as you breathe in, feeling the air expand, feeling it fill up your lungs and spread through your body. And as you exhale, really feeling that charge of current of energy flowing up your spine, all the way up your spine, through all your chakras and out of your crown chakra, right? And then another wonderful, very simple pose we can do is going to be Supta Baddha Konasana, which is a reclined bound angle pose. And to do this, you're going to get yourself into laying down and bound angle. So we want our feet together, and then we want to just let our legs fall open. And again, as always, just taking a moment to slightly tuck the chin, so elongating the spine. Hands are going to be at your sides, they can be on your belly, wherever you feel comfortable. So again, listening to your body. And as you hold Supta Baddha Konasana, you really want to allow, the point of this pose is feeling the gravity work on your legs. So with every exhale, feeling your knees grow heavier so they go further towards the floor. And of course, you're keeping your chin tucked, you're honoring your neck, rolling your shoulders back. And again, feeling the alignment of the ground beneath you as you focus on your breath. And again, as you exhale, every time feeling that energy move out. So now instead of moving up and down, feel the energy moving out the crown of your head and down through your root, as if your spinal cord is just a highway of energy. And maybe you want to envision the color indigo or white as you focus your attention on the area of your crown. And hold this pose for just simply 3 to 5 breaths. Now, Supta Baddha Konasana is a simple pose, just like your easy seated pose, that you can incorporate at any time during the day. So simply taking 3 to 5 breaths in your half lotus, your easy seated, Supta Baddha Konasana, Anjali Mudra will absolutely bring you back to center if you are focusing on your breath, focusing your attention at your crown, and really just taking the time to allow yourself the space to connect and invite your higher self and your guidance in. Okay? So for our sort of intermediate level standing asanas that we can incorporate into our crown chakra, Sahasrara practice, again, we're going to bring back Anjali Mudra, so our prayer mudra. But first we want to get ourselves into standing mountain pose, Tadasana. Flaring out your toes, really rooting your heels into the ground, rolling your shoulders back and really just activating your legs, dropping your hands. Again, elongating that neck, bringing your hands into Anjali Mudra, focusing on your breath. Taking a few breaths here in mountain pose. And then as you activate that area of the crown chakra and you feel your energy charging up your spine, you can inhale, hands to the sky for High Namaskar. Bringing your hands together above your head. Again, you want your shoulders to be a little bit away from your ears. Rolling your tailbone under so that you're not, splaying forward and arching your lower back. Slightly tucking your chin. And just standing here to connect. Again, feeling your length, feeling your connection as though you are just a beautiful line of divine connection between the earth and your higher self. And then you can, as you inhale, and on an exhale, begin to bend slightly to your right for Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. Focusing on your breath, inhaling to center, and exhaling to your left. And Ardha Chandrasana is a wonderful pose for connecting with your crown and your third eye. And always just focusing on your breath, making sure your heels are rooted to the ground, inhaling back to center. Bringing your hands back to prayer as you exhale. Inhaling, hands to the sky. Exhaling, slight back bend if it is in your practice to do so and you don't have lower back problems. Now, a modification if you have lower back problems, instead of having your hands above or having your hands at heart center, you can place your hands on your lower back here like this, rooting your feet into the ground and just slight back bend on your exhale. Always, 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 especially with back bends, honoring your body wherever you are at any given moment. Okay? And then we have a couple of really sort of advanced poses that you can do if that's in your practice or you feel called to push yourself a little bit. So, well, this one is a little bit more intermediate. So, beginning and standing. Inhaling, right leg to the sky, up, knee. Exhaling, shooting back. Dropping it down, keeping your feet hip width apart, coming into your Virabhadrasana one legs, your warrior one legs. Inhaling, exhaling, sinking into that lunge a little further. Arching your back just a little bit and really feeling that root, that strong root connection in the earth, but also the energy charging out of your crown as you hold Virabhadrasana 1 for the crown chakra. Again, so while you're holding these poses for the crown chakra, you want to be focusing your attention as you breathe, focusing your attention to the area of your crown, feeling the energy move out as you supercharge yourself. So then for the left side, dropping down. And if you're wobbly, move your feet apart. Inhaling, exhaling, lunging deeper. And if you want to add a variation that's a little bit more advanced, you can add your eagle arms, bound eagle arms, to your Virabhadrasana 1. Pointing your thumb at your third eye. And really just feeling the power as you root into the earth, but also as you feel the lift. This is the point. So you can work with Virabhadrasana 1 for your root chakra and your crown chakra. That's what's brilliant about this asana. So feeling your power, feeling your nice, firm, strong foundation at the level of the root chakra, your legs, you're rooted to the earth. But then as you breathe, drawing the energy up and feeling it charging out the crown of your head. Right? Beautiful. When you can open to Warrior 2 if you so feel called. Or just hold that pose, the Vira 1, for your practices. Whatever you feel called to do, you can incorporate these into a practice you already have, or you can do them on your own. And then we have a couple of quite advanced ones. So supported headstand, scorpion pose, and half moon pose. Or, I'm sorry, Pravrita Ardha Chandrasana. So this was also half moon, right? We have the advanced version of the Parivrita Ardha Chandrasana. So from your Warrior 1, what you can do is you can bend forward, dragging. You want to make sure you're rooted into the earth. Dragging, coming. Now your hand, your top hand, your left hand can go to your hip. Your right hand can be touching the floor if you need the support. Okay, so that's the first variation. You want your back foot flexed. Energy is charging out your back foot. Okay? So that's a fun one that you can just kind of play around with and test yourself and see how your balance is doing, right? It's a great one to start with because there's so many variations, so you can, you can just kind of stay here. Right? You can stay here. Then when you get brave, you can raise your top arm. When you get really brave or really balanced, you can lift your other hand off the ground. And then when you're really ready, you can bring your hands into Anjali Mudra. So there's a couple of different variations, and it's a fun one to play around with. And then also, let's not forget that a beautiful way for us to connect with our crown chakra is by putting our head to the earth. So now there's a couple of ways we can do this. We can come into hero's pose kneeling, leaning forward, head to the ground. Maybe we want to stay right there and feel that amazing stretch along the backside of our body and allow that, right? Just connect. Breathe into that sensation. Breathe into that connection of the crown of your head with the earth. How beautiful is that? 3 to 5 breaths recharges you. Then we have supported headstand. So if you're a beginner, you can come right here. And if you're ready to push a little more, focusing on your breath, using your core, and allowing gravity to work on your body in reverse. And then also coming out of it with the same controlled grace that you went into the pose. Okay? So again, if you're going to be practicing any of the inversions or the balancing, you always want to just get yourself rooted into the earth. You want to connect with your breath. And don't be afraid to fall, but also honor your body. And don't jump from, a brand new practice to trying to do a headstand if you've never been upside down. Ease your way into it, work your way into it, right? Yoga and on the mat, and especially when we're working with a yoga practice for our crown chakra, is the best place for us to leave our ego out of it, right? And just come in humble, just come in honoring our bodies and honoring who and where we are on our journey and honoring our breath. So if the most you do in any day is the easy seated or the half lotus and the Supta Baddha Konasana, the reclining bound angle, that's beautiful, that's wonderful, that's a start, and that's enough. So if you don't have a full-on yoga practice going already, I highly suggest just incorporating one or two of the simplest poses from each of these asana videos into your movement practice in the morning. So adding movement into your daily morning routine can be just a beautiful gift to your body. So as always, I thank you so much for joining me. I thank you so much for allowing me the space to guide you and teach you. And I bid you namaste.